Alright.
Hey! Before we, start, could I do the intro this time?
Yeah, sure. Go right on ahead.
Thank you.
No problem.
Oh, hold up. Well, all right, every pony. Hold on. Let me try like a narrator, like how you be doing it. All right, every pony. Welcome back to my channel.
Ooh, that was kind of nice. You kind of sounded like me. I was all like, all right, every pony. And then you were like,
All right, everybody. That is not how I sound.
it totally is. But hey, we can't keep the ponies waiting.
Right. We got it. We've kept them waiting long enough.
You've got that right, voice.
Oh, calling me voice again.
What's wrong with voice?
No, nothing.
Are you sure? Because you said it like something was wrong with...
Oh, no. Let's just do the fanfiction. Let's.
All right. Shadows. Written by Silver Wings Productions. Chapter 1. The Town.
I trot up to the town of Greenwood just after sunset, the worn-down street lamps casting eerie shadows on the old buildings. The town is nestled in a clearing out by Twilight Hollow, a spooky swampland of dead trees and strange creatures. Creatures which could mutilate, dismember, eat, and do just about any horrid thing the mind can conjure up to a pony. How ponies decided to live here, among being practically cut off from pony kind and the aggressive, hungry creatures, I couldn't tell. Yet, one of the selling points must be the rustic buildings, which remind me so fondly of the town I live in, known as Ponyville. As I enter, I receive some strange glances from the townsfolk, who must not be accustomed to visitors, let alone an alicorn like myself. I was undercover this time, but still, I could immediately feel that something was off. Something about this place was unnerving. I couldn't name it, but it unnerved me. It was almost as if something was unnatural about this town. Quickly, I make an attempt to blend in. I'm no pony important, just some ordinary mare who lost her way in the woods and wound up here. And yet, as I trot through the town, I can't help but wonder why they sent me here. There had to be some sort of reason my mentor sent me here, of all places. Mind you, this place isn't on any map. It is far in the back country, barely accounted for on the equestrian census. Glancing around, I can see that every pony here goes about their business dressed the same, with a blank facial expression. It's almost as if they're hiding something. Some dark secret or hidden horror. The leaves crunch beneath my hooves, and the breeze rustles my coat as I trot along with nary a glance from any pony, for they all have seemed to return to whatever they were doing before. As the night wears on, the streets slowly become less and less occupied until only I remain, walking these empty streets with my dark-colored hood up and my eyes scanning my surroundings. A light drizzle begins to fall as an eerie mist creeps in from the forest, the haze clinging to my coat as I continue surveying the town. It isn't long before the lonesome cries of howling wolves and the occasional hoot of an owl from a nearby tree fill the night, a dire warning not to travel into the forest after dark. Eventually, I reach the forest's edge, and the bone-chilling howl of a timber wolf forces me to reverse course and find lodging in town. It's late, so most places which could provide shelter are closed, much to my annoyance. I knock on doors, but no pony answers, so I take up shelter underneath the overhang of a roof and decide to wait until morning before proceeding. The howls of wolves and the frightening sounds from the forest keep me awake through the night, but as I watch the streets, I notice something rather mysterious indeed. From the receding mist, a figure materializes, hangs there for a moment, and all the while I stare at it, unable to tear my perplexed gaze away from the shape. But then it notices me, and it slowly, terrifyingly turns its head around to face me. Suddenly, its red eyes flash. It grins a horrifying smile, and the next thing I know, I am sent spiraling into hallucination after terrifying hallucination. Images of dead bodies mutilated beyond recognition, frightening beings, spirits dancing, and voices. Eerie, terrifying voices that taunt me, mess with my head. After what feels like hours of these visions, I come to, screaming like a madman. And I know it was real, that creature, for when I awake, I am still under the overhang, and it is still raining. But today, the citizens seem frightened, as if something terrible happened overnight. And it isn't very long before I catch wind of the incident from a passing civilian. Some pony has disappeared, without a trace. In a town such as this, that kind of incident does not go unnoticed. The town police are asking around for any information regarding the disappearance. But so far, it's been vague as to what caused it. All they have now is a description of the stallion who vanished. He was a younger one, gray coat, black mane, earth pony. It's speculated that he may have wandered off into the forest, but while it's within the realm of possibility, I think it may just be incorrect. Thunder rolls over the distance, and judging by the clouds, it will probably rain again tonight. I muse this over as I go along, this time in search of the local tavern. As I trot, from the corner of my eye, I notice fog once more hanging low over the forest, but the frightening sound of its inhabitants have ceased, at least until nightfall. Only the occasional raven flutters down from a branch to a rooftop. Then I feel it, a piercing gaze from the shadows of the knotted old trees. And then, as I slowly direct my eyes towards the woods, 2 pairs of red eyes glint from the mist, followed by the onset of an agonizing migraine that threatens to split my head in 2. Aimlessly, I stumble around from shock and terror, my eyes darting to and fro in panic. When I do come to my senses and the migraine subsides, I make my way into the tavern, order a drink and some food, and sit myself down in a booth by a window. I don't dare look out towards the forest for fear of seeing that thing again. Had it followed me? Had it been watching me? It doesn't take long before my mind conjures up a theory, an absurd one. What if that thing is responsible for the disappearances? It's well within the realm of possibility, for who knows what this town hides? After postulating my theory and eating something, I leave the tavern and head out once more into the town in falling drizzle to see that many have gathered at the town hall. Silently, I make my way over there, finding a chaotic scene. The town's ponies want answers to the disappearances. The town police haven't solved it. They're nowhere near even cracking the case. I quickly decide to come back later to avoid being mobbed, but as I am leaving, an elderly stallion stumbles into me, inadvertently knocking me to the ground. He is shaking violently, his eyes darting to and fro in a rapid fashion. He is in some sort of hysterical mindset, as if he'd been the Tartarus and back. He is muttering something, unintelligible at first, but soon it becomes clear.
No pony is safe. They're coming. They're coming for us.
As I pick myself up from my prone position, several other ponies try to calm this hysterical old stallion down, but their attempts to calm him do very little. He continues his crazed rant, all the while raving about some shadow creatures and ghosts and something to do with an old estate deep in the forest. I begin to wonder if he's seen what I saw just this past night. Has he, too, seen the red-eyed creatures? Now, highly intrigued and fighting an increasing worry deep inside for my own safety, I make my way around the town to find a place to stay. I don't want to spend another horrifying night in the pouring rain under an overhang. Luckily, I stumble across an inn, and quickly I rent a room. From my assigned room's window, I can see the town, a slightly haunting sight indeed. I remain here even after dark, listening to the drizzle hit my window as it falls. Again, the streets are empty. Only the mist occupies the dirt roads. Since I do not want to run into those creatures again, I decide to get some sleep. However, as the rainy night continues on, strange noises begin to come from beneath the floorboards. Noises that aren't the building settling or creaky floorboards. No, these noises are ghastly groans and terrifying roars, hushed voices and chanting. Immediately I spring from the bed, trotting over to the small desk and retrieving a quill from my saddlebags, instantly putting it to the parchment. I began to write a message, hoping I would get it off in time. Dear Princess Celestia, strange things are happening in this town. Things which I cannot explain. I keep seeing these strange creatures with red glowing eyes emerging from the mist at night, and there are ghastly sounds from beneath the floorboards of the inn at which I am staying. I request that permission be granted for... A loud thud against my window startles me from my writings, the quill sliding down the parchment as I jumped back in fear. I slowly make my way over to the window, taking extreme caution as I go. I glance out the window to see nothing but black shadows envelop all that was once visible. I try to look around, but everything is black. The only sounds are those coming from below, mixing with the rain splattering the window and the occasional eerie thunderclap. Just as I begin to turn away, a pair of red eyes appear suddenly right on the window, sending fresh chills of utter terror through my body. The floor began to glow, the window creaking as whatever was outside began forcing it open. I backed towards the door, preparing to buck it down. The creature now is standing opposite me in this room, the terrifying headache hitting me with full force. It stares me down while the noises from below grow louder, an icy white pony-like form made of mist surrounding the two terrifying eyes. It approaches me, grinning a terrifying smile as it slowly approaches. I kick open the door, fleeing out of the room at a full gallop. On the ground floor, I bust through the door onto the inn's small porch, panting heavily. It is a moonless night, the air crisp and damp with rain. I hear the creature approaching me, making a strange, barely audible noise as it glides down to the lobby. Not daring to turn around, I made a quick decision. I need to get out of here. My only option for escape is the forest. There is no other way in or out of this town. I will have to remain extremely vigilant in this escape endeavor, for many creatures haunt the forest. Even through the rain, I can hear sounds, warning me not to venture in there after dark. But I have no choice. Quickly, I begin to make my way over to the forest's edge, running accidentally into something hanging from the awning. The collision knocks me onto my back, slamming the wind out of me. Stunned, I pick myself up, a flash of lightning illuminating what I hit. A body, hanging from the awning with a noose around its neck. It seemed to be one of the town's ponies. As I observe it, I see that it doesn't hang alone. Many more hanged bodies were dangling limply from the awnings of the town, foals and grown adults alike. Suddenly, a ghastly noise comes from the inn's door. I look beyond the bodies to see that the creature now has made it out of the hotel, approaching me fast with the same threatening smile. Now frightened out of my wits, I spread my wings, making a mad dash for the woods with the creature gaining on me. As I race through the town, body after body passes by in my peripheral vision, some of them disintegrating before my very eyes to become one of the ghastly red-eyed creatures. With the creatures gaining on me, I soon reached the forest's edge, not bothering to hesitate in my flight. I only pause to continue by hoof at full gallop. In the forest, the trees grow too close together to permit flight, while the pitch darkness restricts visibility. I cast a light spell with minimal effectiveness, pausing what seems like hours later to see if the creatures had followed me. As to what I could tell, they hadn't. However, I soon noticed growling coming from the trees around me. Timberwolves. I began to continue on slowly, so as to not provoke them. I can tell they are following me. Their steps resonate with those of my hooves. The process continues until a louder growl directs my gaze down towards my side. My violet eyes meet the glowing green ones of a timberwolf, drool pooling below it. I remain very still under the hope that it will pass me by, though I know that is highly unlikely. Another joins in on my left, then several more close in. Suddenly, sharp claws dig into my coat, causing me to return the attack with a quick spell. Pain shoots through me as several more timberwolves begin to attack, making my escape ever more difficult. My wings become torn, my coat matted with blood. In some areas, I can see the outlines of bones protruding. Through the pain, I carry on, dragging myself into a secluded area, crying out for help. The pain of being torn to ribbons is so great that I am blinded beyond rational thought. I cannot cast any magic. I will die here, helpless, found a skeleton in the woods come daylight. A yelp distracts my dazed mind, followed by several more as the wolves are beaten. It is then that I sense the presence of another equine. It's the old stallion from before, panting from exertion in his fight with the creatures. I thank him, shuddering from the pain. He turns to me with a smile, which quickly fades into shock, then pain. His eyes roll back into his head, the body dissolving before my eyes. It is replaced by the mist of the ghost, the eyes turning red. I back away once more, urine pooling on the ground below me. I summon all the strength I have left to cast a defensive spell, forming a magical shield over myself. It isn't long before I keel over, the shield dissipating. The creature laughs, casting a spell of its own. More pain shoots through me. I see that it is trying to drain me of my life force, my coat bubbling up to form a stream of violet that connects to the glowing, misty creature. The streams grow wider, my fur becoming separate from the skin from muscle, muscle from bone. My vision goes blurry as I try to escape, and the last thing I see before blacking out is a bright, blinding flash of light. Twilight? Twilight! Twilight! I open my eyes slowly. Everything around me is blurry. I don't know where I am. I just know that I am lying down in a bed somewhere away from the woods. I try to move and pain shoots through me. Everything hurts. Where am I? Good. You're awake. My mentor? You are in my quarters back at Canterlot. I had you sent here after I found you in the woods. I hadn't received a letter, so I figured something might have gone awry. Celestia? I began, sitting up. What did I uncover? What happened? Through my blurry vision, I see her turn to face me, a grave expression on her features. My faithful student, I think it's time you knew the truth about that town. To be continued.
Oh man, why'd you have to end the story there?
What are you talking about? There's only one chapter. It's not like I did it like that on purpose.
Sure, you're the narrator, right? This is your channel.
Oh, well, wait. Blame me for, I don't know, reading, narrating, whatever. That's why I got a whole bunch of lines and you didn't. How many lines did you get?
I don't even know how many lines I got. I got like, I read the tags or whatever. Wait, what did I read again?
Ew, doesn't sound like you got many lines now there, bud. Well, anyway, thank you everybody for watching.
Whoa, what are you doing here, bud? What are you doing?
What do you mean, what am I doing here? What's going on?
I usually don't do an outro, you know? I just, like, talk or something until, like, something happens, you know?
Oh, yeah, something like this?
Yeah, basically that.